everyone. A few of you have asked what my secret is to getting this garden looking so healthy. So I figured it'd probably be a little bit easier if I would just make a video to explain it. The method that I use is called the lasagna method. It's also referred to, you may have heard it called the Back to Eden method. And basically what that is you start with a layer of cardboard, and then on top of the cardboard you put a layer of compost, and then on top of the compost you put a layer of arborist wood chips. So basically what happens with this layering system is that the cardboard, the initial layer, is there to choke out any weeds that might be in the area and to keep the weed seeds kind of submerged. And then you put 3 inches of a good compost on top of that, and then 3 inches of the wood chips. Now the difference in the arborist wood chips and the mulch that you would get at Home Depot is the arborist wood chips still have green material in them. They basically take large branches and run them through a chipper with the leaves and everything in them. So the perfect ratio for a good compost pile is 30 parts carbon to 1 part nitrogen. The carbon is, of course, your wood, and then the nitrogen would be your green material like your leaves. So this layered system, the top layer, the arborist wood chips, are basically going to compost in place, and it's also going to help feed the microbial action that is going on in the layer below, which is the compost layer. So last year in April, I'll show you in my walkways, I have put down weed mat, and then on top of the weed mat I put in just Home Depot mulch. And you can see what I started with last year. The weed mat, of course, choked out any of the weeds and the grasses that were up underneath it, but the soil is still the same, and it's really, there's no there's nothing living in the soil. I mean, if you look at it really closely, there are no earthworms or anything else. So, and it doesn't really hold water that well. It's very sandy. And over here, you will see what the soil looks like in this area is, if you move the wood chips to the side, almost immediately start to see some earthworms crawling around in here. Here's a little one. You don't have to go down very far and look very hard to start seeing some living organisms inside the soil. And what those guys do is they come up and they eat the wood chips, and they produce a manure which helps to feed the root system of the living plants. And then when you go to start a new bed, you don't rip out all the root system from the old plants. You leave it in place, because that also will start to decompose and feed the soil life. So having a good garden really starts with healthy soil. So that's your tip for the day.